Hey Mountaineers, Matterhorn Matt here with episode 2 of Historyland. Today we'll be talking about the extinct attraction, Adventure Thru Inner Space. Let's get started. Adventure Thru Inner Space was arguably one of the most beloved attractions residing in Tomorrowland. To discuss its history, we'll have to travel all the way back to 1955 when Disneyland opened. During construction, Tomorrowland was the victim of many budget cuts, and when it opened, it was mostly a corporate showcase. One such attraction was the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea walkthrough exhibit, which reused sets from the hit 1954 movie based on Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, complete with sets from the pump room, the chart room, the diving chamber, the wheelhouse, Captain Nemo's organ, which now resides in the Haunted Mansion, a squid encounter, and the last resting place of the Nautilus. Guests were amazed that they could see the actual props from the movie, and reception of the walkthrough was fairly positive. But that all changed when Imagineers were tasked to breathe new life into Tomorrowland. Now, as I mentioned in my previous episode of Historyland on the People Mover, Tomorrowland in the 1960s was beginning to fall behind on what the public viewed the future to be like. So in 1967, Disney unveiled New Tomorrowland, but that came at a cost: the loss of the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea exhibit, replaced by Adventure Thru Inner Space, presented by Monsanto. Previously, Monsanto already sponsored an attraction, the House of the Future, which is worthy of its own video at a future date. But Monsanto wanted something better to showcase their technology, and that came when they sponsored Adventure Thru Inner Space. Adventure Thru Inner Space was a high-capacity dark ride that used the Omnimover system and shrunk guests to the size of an atom to see the inner workings of a molecule within a snowflake, and surprisingly, the ride didn't require a ticket to experience it. Alright, now for those of you that don't know, Disneyland required guests to pay an admission price as well as buying ticket books, with a tiered system of A through E. A tickets included the Main Street horse cars, the horseless carriage, the omnibus, the fire engine, King Arthur's Carousel, and Sleeping Beauty Castle. B tickets included the Main Street Cinema, the motorboat cruise, the Swiss Family Treehouse, Casey Jr.'s Circus Train, and Alice in Wonderland. C tickets included the Fantasyland Theater, the Mad Tea Party, Fantasyland and Tomorrowland Utopia, the Shooting Galleries, Peter Pan's Flight, Dumbo the Flying Elephants, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Snow White's Adventures, the Mike Fink Keel Boats, and Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. D tickets included the Rocket Jets, the People Mover, Flight to the Moon, Storybookland Canal Boats, the Skyway, rafts to Tom Sawyer's Island, Davy Crockett Explorer Canoes, the Disneyland Railroad, the Columbia, and the Mark Twain. E tickets included the Mine Train Ride, the Pack Mules, the Jungle Cruise, the Monorail, the Matterhorn Bobsleds, It's a Small World, the Enchanted Tiki Room, the Submarine Voyage, Pirates of the Caribbean, the Country Bear Jamboree, and the Haunted Mansion. Now, if you guys want more information on the Disneyland ticket books, I've linked Yesterland articles in the description that goes over the history of them in the Disney parks. Now, the ride was voiced by Paul Frees, as you may know as the Ghost Host in the Haunted Mansion.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host.
Guests would board their Atommobile on a continuously moving walkway and head into the mighty microscope to prepare for shrinking. And the Sherman Brothers even wrote a theme song for it, Miracles from Molecules. Now, if I try to describe the attraction, I wouldn't really do the ride the justice it deserves. So here's a virtual ride-through of the attraction, created by Steve Wesson.
Automobiles approaching snowflake specimen. All phases stand by to verify resolving power.
Phase blue, phase blue. Light wavelength approximately 0.5 thousand millimeters. Definition excellent.
Phase green. resolving power decreasing.
Phase green, increase U angle. Verify.
Phase green, U angle increased to 14 degrees 29 minutes. Automobile definition, excellent.
All phases hold U angle until forward units reach crystalline stage of snowflake.
Your attention, please. This is the tracking procedure of an adventure through inner space. Adventurous men of science who have made this journey before you are carefully plotting every phase of this incredible journey as you shrink beyond the smallness of an atom, the smallest building block of matter. We wish you an enlightening experience, for though your body will shrink, your mind will expand.
All phases lower resolvable separation as automobiles proceed through crystalline stage. Compensate shrinking factor.
Phase yellow, U angle increased to 85 degrees. Approaching practical limit.
Phase yellow, hold at 90 degrees and stand by to convert to immersion fluid.
You are about to begin your adventure through inner space. We hope this remarkable journey will bring you closer to the adventures experienced daily by men of science. Men of vision who make similar treks in a never-ending search for new ways to manipulate molecules for your comfort and convenience. This journey which you are about to take is but one of many such marvelous adventures through inner space.
Forward units proceeding beyond limits of optical magnification. All phases activate DLX system. Verify voltage compensators.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated at all times.
For centuries, man had but his own two eyes to explore the wonders of his world. Then he invented the microscope, a mighty eye, and discovered the fantastic universe beyond the limits of his own meager sight. Now your adventure through inner space has begun. Through the mighty microscope, you will travel into the incredible universe found within a tiny fragment of a snowflake. I am the first person to make this fabulous journey. Suspended in the timelessness of inner space are the thought waves of my first impressions. They will be our only source of contact once you have passed beyond the limits of normal
magnification. 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 Magnification.
I am passing beyond the magnification limits of even the most powerful microscope. These are snowflakes, and yet they seem to grow larger and larger. Or can I be shrinking beyond the smallness of a tiny snowflake crystal? Indeed, I am becoming smaller and smaller. These tiny bits of snowflake crystal tower above me like an enormous wall of ice. Can I penetrate this gigantic prism? And yet this wall of ice only seems smooth and solid. From this tiny viewpoint, I can see that nothing is solid, no matter how it appears. And still I continue to shrink. What compelling force draws me into this mysterious darkness? Can this be the threshold of inner space? Spheres. Have I reached the universe of the molecule? Yes, these are water molecules, H2O. They vibrate in such an orderly pattern because this is water frozen into the solid state of matter. These fuzzy spheres must be the atoms that make up the molecule. 2 hydrogen atoms bonded to a single oxygen atom. And I see it's the orbiting electrons that give the atom its fuzzy appearance. And still I continue to shake. Is it possible that I can enter the atom itself? Electrons are dashing about me like so many fiery comets. Can I possibly survive? I have pierced the wall of the oxygen atom. I am so infinitely small now that I can see millions of orbiting electrons. They appear like the Milky Way of our own solar system. This vast realm, this is the infinite universe within a tiny speck of snowflake crystal. And there is the nucleus of the atom. Do I dare explore the vastness of its inner space? No, I dare not go on. I must return to the realm of the molecule before I go on shrinking forever. Oh, how strange. The molecules are so active now. They have become fluid, freed from their frozen state. That can only mean that the snowflake is melting. Yes, the snowflake has melted, but there is no cause for alarm. You are back on visual and returning to your normal size. This has been one of many exciting adventures through inner space in a never-ending search for new ways to rearrange molecules for the benefit of mankind. Now, in our display area, you will see modern miracles created by rearranging the molecules of not only water, but of air, coal, petroleum, and many other raw materials. This is Monsanto.
Now, as you can imagine, the dark ride was amazing even by today's standards. Its education mixed with different visuals and props amazed guests who rode it. But the biggest blow to the attraction would come in 1977, leaving the ride's future in question.
Out of the darkness it will come, big as 2 city blocks, with 700 legs, 5,000 eyes, and it feeds on electricity. When you see it, you'll never forget it. It's the Main Street Electrical Parade, part of the magic of the Walt Disney Company. Weekends at Disneyland.
In 1977, Monsanto ended their sponsorship of the attraction, which left the ride without a sponsor for the remainder of its life. And on September 2nd, 1985, the ride closed. Many fans wondered what would replace the amazing attraction, and new CEO Michael Eisner, along with his new friend George Lucas, had the answer.
Now, in a kingdom very, very near.
Do hurry, the passengers are boarding.
Prepare yourselves.
Welcome aboard!
For the ultimate Disneyland thrill attraction from the imagination of Disney and George Lucas. Because now, the adventure is real. Star Tours at Disneyland. In all the universe, there is no greater thrill. Now open at Disneyland.
In 1987, Star Tours replaced the building in Tomorrowland, while also reusing the queue for the attraction before it. Michael Eisner, former CEO of Paramount, felt the Disney parks were too kid-friendly and needed more rides for young adults and teens. This was the same initiative that brought all kinds of thrill rides to the park. like extraterrestrial alien encounter, which is also a topic worth its own video. Star Tours was a new kind of simulator ride that used military-grade simulators synced to a video that took guests on an adventure far, far away. And as a lot of you can probably agree, Star Tours was a big hit. But those guests who loved Adventures Thru Inner Space will never forget its history in the Disney parks and its influence on everyone who wrote it. Alright guys, that's the history of Adventure Thru Inner Space. I hope you all enjoyed because this episode was a blast to make. My upload schedule for now will be Historyland videos every Wednesday, but once I get my podcast Matterhorn Mondays up and running, Historyland will be every other week, and Matterhorn Mondays will be the week after that, every other week. But until then, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, sub to my channel, and share it with all your Disney-loving friends. Also, click the links in the description to follow my Twitter, Instagram, and donate to my Patreon. See you next time, Mountaineers.